What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with a brand new review for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is season 5, episode 6, you guys. This episode it was titled Mafia Wives and Bad Vibes. All right, you guys. So before we do get into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel, and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and then having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and also by sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and get into this episode of Salt Lake City, you guys. Shall we? All right, you guys. I need you guys to tell me, what did you guys think about this episode? It was an interesting episode. I was laughing at some things in this episode because it was hilarious to me. So the episode, it opens up and we see Angie. So Angie is preparing for her 25th wedding anniversary, right? And she's going to be having a big party, inviting all the girls to the party, right? And I was like, okay, cool. But then when she said what the theme of the party was, she said it's mob wives. I was like, wow, Angie. Y'all know how I feel when it comes to Angie. That I think that Angie is a try hard. And I was like, girl, you really running with that whole thing from last season about the mafia. I was like, okay, you know what? If that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. But it just don't make a lot of sense to me. Like it really don't make a whole lot of sense to me. But it is what it is. It's her storyline. And if that's what she want to do, then that's what she want to do. Now the invitations, I will say, I did like the invitations that she sent out to the girls. Those were pretty cool to see. Then with the wanted pictures and stuff like that, I did think that the invitations were cool. I will give Angie a 1 point for that. That the invitations were cool. But outside of that, it's just like, okay, I think you're, putting 20 on 10 when it comes to the whole mafia thing. But yeah, you guys, let me know what you guys thought about it. So we'll start off with Lisa. So let's get Lisa on the screen here. So we see Lisa. So Lisa was the first one to get her invitation, right? And you guys know Lisa is in her feelings about what Heather told her that Angie has said about her parenting skills, right? And I don't have a problem with Lisa feeling the way she feels about what Heather came to tell her. We'll definitely get into it later in the review. But I did think it was interesting that Lisa is having this conversation with Henry and John. I was like, John is one thing, but why are you having this conversation with Henry in the room? I just like, okay. Like I said, feel how you want to feel, Lisa. But I thought it was just interesting that you were having a conversation with Henry in the room with you. But neither here nor there, right? So after that, they talk about calling up Jack. And so they called Jack up. Jack was out eating. And so, Lisa asked him, how was he feeling? He said that he's feeling fine. And so we also found out from Lisa that, they don't know what's wrong with him, but they did do some scans on him, and they still at this point really haven't figured out what is going on with Jack, right? So that's all we got with Lisa. So after Lisa, we'll move on over to Whitney. Where's Whitney? Where the hell is Whitney? Okay, here's Whitney. So Whitney's next, you guys. So with Whitney, we see as Whitney is meeting up with Meredith. And I was like, oh, this is a shocker that she's meeting up with with Meredith. And Meredith was also a little shocked as well that she and Whitney were meeting up. So when they met up, Whitney's, Meredith sat down, and that's when Whitney apologizes to Meredith. And Meredith had, like I said, had a shocked look on her face the whole time. And, Whitney is telling her that she knows that it wasn't her who, did the blog post. And so she was like, it was Lisa. And Meredith's whole thing was, okay, you think it was Lisa. Do you have concrete proof that it was Lisa? And so Whitney goes on to tell her, like, yeah, I called so the blogger that she called, I know who it is. The channel is Up and Adam. Now I don't necessarily watch his videos and stuff like that, but I do know who he is. I do know of him. So yeah, Lisa. So she's just like making sure that it's concrete evidence that she got before she actually says something to Lisa, right? And again, Whitney is saying that she knows for a fact that it was Lisa. And I was like, girl, you're going off the word of somebody else. So you don't 100% know that it is that woman. But we'll talk about it once we get down to the end of the episode for sure. My thoughts about that. But yeah, we'll definitely talk about it once we get down towards the end of the episode, you guys. So after that, like I said, they were just talking. So they're talking about this anniversary party that Angie's going to be having. And, Meredith's whole thing is she feels that they should definitely have a conversation, smooth things over with each other, and be able to move forward. Again, like I said, once we get down towards the end of the episode, I'll definitely give you guys my thoughts and my opinions when it comes to it, because I'm on I'm on one person's side, and like I said, we'll definitely discuss it once we get down to it. So after that, we will move over to. Give me just a second. Hey, Greta, how are you doing today? All right. So next up, I don't want to go here, but she was a part of the episode, and unfortunately, we got to talk about it. Mary, Mary Martha Cosby. I really feel bad for Mary. Like, I honestly feel bad for Mary because the scene with Mary that we got in this week's episode. Oh God! So her son Robert Jr. came home, right? And she had been trying to call Robert Jr., but he wasn't answering the phone. And Mary feels that with this little girl, with the girlfriend or wife, whatever she is, right? Mary feels that listening to Mary talk, Mary feels like this girl's a bad influence on him. And I was like, I don't know if I would go that far, because I mean, you can only influence people to do so much, right? And you have your own free will to say no to things that you do and do not want to do. So I won't go as far as to try to pit things on that girl. Because when they came into the house, and Robert Senior, not Robert Senior, but Robert Junior, she was talking to him. You could literally tell that young man was high out of his mind. I was like, Mary, that boy is high. And again, I don't know what he took, but Robert Jr. was definitely high on some kind of something. Like, he was high. No ifs, no ands, no buts about it. He was high. So Mary is letting him know that she is having company come over, right? And she told him, like, when it comes, don't, just reappear, right? So him and the girl, they went upstairs, and then Bronwyn came over. So when Bronwyn came over, Bronwyn came bearing gifts for Mary. It was a flower, and it was Mary's favorite flower, right? So Mary and Bronwyn, they went and sat down and talked to each other, right? So Bronwyn is just telling Mary about the stuff with Gwen, how when they were in leaving Milwaukee, she and Lisa figured out that Lisa knows Gwen's father and her grandparents. And which this is something that I think we all knew about Mary, that she and her mother are not close to each other. Because if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but you guys can correct me if I am wrong. So I know season one or going into season two, Mary's mom did an interview with somebody. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was that guy, Adam from Up and Adam. I believe I know Mary's mom did an interview with somebody, and I think it was him. But again, if you guys know, feel free to correct me in the comment section and in the live. So Mary's talking about how her mom was selfish, how her mom didn't really buy groceries. I'm like, wow, that's terrible. It's just like what I was saying yesterday when I did my Real Housewives of New York City review. It's like, how do you guys have kids and mistreat your kids? Like, I don't understand that. Like, that's something that's unfathomable to me. Like, I just don't get it. Because the thing is, your kids didn't ask to be here. You chose to have the kids. And this also goes to my whole, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but this goes to my whole thing when it comes to people who are, against women saying what they want to do with their bodies, right? Because like I said, I've said it plenty of times before, when it comes down to it, people only care about the child until it gets into this world. Once it's in this world, it has to fend for himself, right? They go into the system, or they get placed with they get parents or get placed with people that don't give a damn about them. And Mary was talking about how she just wanted some cereal sometime, but in the refrigerator, all they had was like cranberry juice and cabbage, things that didn't go together. And it's like, wow, that's terrible. Like, I really feel bad for Mary. So Mary said that Robert Jr. didn't know her mom, didn't know her dad, and her dad is now deceased, right? Huh. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And she said, when they would have grandparents day at his school, that he would ask to stay at home. So after they had that conversation, they moved on to talk about Heather. And I'm here for them coming for Heather, right? Calling Heather out on her BS. The fact that Heather this season is being the bone collector and being messy, going back to this person, saying what this person said, saying what that person said. I'm here for it, right? Then Mary's landline phone rang. I was with Braun when I was like, wait a minute, Mary, you have a landline phone in 2024? Okay. I don't even remember the last time I used a land. Actually, the last time I used a landline phone was when my mom was alive. We had a landline, and that was 2017. I ain't used a landline since 2017. Wow. So that is it for Mary, and then we're gonna wrap up the episode, you guys, and discuss Angie. So Angie's anniversary party, you guys. Very interesting party. I'll say that for sure. I would definitely say it was an interesting party. When her daddy got up and talked about Sean, I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself because I thought her daddy was gonna say something different about Sean. The fact that he looked like a hippie. I thought her daddy was gonna say something different, but he didn't. Um, I'm still confused. I was with Meredith. I'm so confused as to why she went with a mob wife theme for her anniversary. Like, that doesn't show or symbolize love. Very interesting, Angie. But okay, girl. I mean, if that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. But it still was very weird to me, right? So everyone is coming, Meredith included. Now, Sean was reluctant to have Meredith come, but he was like, well, we should have security in case she acts up so we can escort her right on out. So when Meredith got there, she spoke to Angie, she spoke to Sean, and she went and had a conversation with Whitney. And so she was just telling Whitney, like, hey, with you and Lisa, y'all need to have a conversation with each other to smooth things out. And so she's cool with that, right? Whitney, that is. So then after that, we see Brittany arrives. So Brittany arrives with this guy. His name is Aaron, right? And everybody's like, "Oh, no, Jared." And she was like, "No." She's like, when Jared and I break up, I go on the apps and I met this guy. I was like, "Girl, y'all did not break up." I really, truly want for Brittany to stop saying that she and Jared broke up. Girl, you were never in a real relationship to even break up. Please stop saying that, Brittany. I really, desperately need you to stop clinging to that and let that go. So Mary came up to the man and said, "Hey, Jared." And everybody was like, "Mary, that is not Jared." She's like, "Yes, it is." Because her and Meredith at one point were talking, and Meredith was like, "Girl, I don't think that that's Jared." She's like, "Yes, it is." She's like, "There he is right there. You can ask him." She's asking what his name is. And Meredith's like, "Girl, I'm not about to do that." So she was about to Google him. And Mary was like, "Don't do that." I was like, "Girl, it's better to Google the man than to sit here and say, 'Hey, your name is Jared, ain't it?'" And for him to say, "No, his name is not Jared." So they're talking about that. Brittany, Brittany, Brittany. We're going to come back to you in just a minute. Bronwyn. So we see Bronwyn. So Bronwyn went up to Angie and told Angie that Heather had went back to Lisa and told Lisa what she had said about her parenting, right? And so then we see Brittany. So Brittany came up to Lisa, and you guys know Lisa Barlow is not my favorite person on this show. But girl, if you don't shut up talking about this situation with Jared, I am so irritated hearing about it. Like, let it go, girl. The man does not want to be with you like that. Because if he did, he would let it be known to the whole world that you his girl, and he ain't doing that. Like, I don't know what you want from this man, but please, beloved, let it go. Let it go. So then Mary came up when Lisa and Brittany were talking and asked them what they were talking about. They were like, "Oh, we're talking about you." But then Lisa decided that she wanted to confront Mary about the way that they were talking at the zip line thing, right? Girl, move on. Move on. Because Mary wasn't wrong. If you feel a way about anything that you heard about Angie, why not confront her yourself? So I'm here for it, right? So then Heather came up because Brittany walked away, and Mary, I'm here for Mary. Mary called Heather out on being messy. And so her and Heather were going back and forth at one point. And so Heather was like, "Mary, I've always been good." Now here's one thing we can call a spade. We can say one thing and say another thing, right? Heather ain't been that great to Mary, right? Because I will never forget season 2 and the way that y'all treated Mary when it came to the Jen Shaw situation. Like, y'all were trying to take Mary down when Jen was a whole criminal on the show. That's number one. Then after with season 2, y'all the way y'all treated Mary at the end with the whole Jenny Wynn stuff. Y'all were willing to still film with Jenny because Jenny was supposed to come back for season 3, and all that racist stuff came up about Jenny, and y'all was still willing to film with that woman until people started, getting upset with y'all, and so they had to drop her, right? So y'all haven't really been good to Mary at all. Now, Mary, you ain't been the best to Heather either, right? Because you've made your you called her you said she looks inbred. Then when she had that interview look last season, you were like you didn't know that Louis Vuitton or whoever it was made those jumpsuits in her size. So you were rude as hell when it comes to, so two things can be true, right? Mary can be rude, and Heather, you ain't really been there for Mary. But they made up with each other, right? And I hollered when Mary went and sat down by those kids and was talking about her feet hurt after arguing with them. And one of the kids was like, "What happened?" She's like, "Women." You guys remember season 2 when Whitney walked by her and she said, "Women." But she said women again, right? I was just laughing at her that she was sitting there having a conversation with those kids. I was like, "Mary, these kids ain't paying you really that much of attention, right?" So then we see Angie. So Angie went up to talk to Heather about what Braun had told her, right? And Heather is saying that she doesn't feel like Lisa, not Lisa, but Angie has Lisa's back. Okay, what they got to do with you? So then Angie says, "Well, I don't feel like you have my back." And I was like, "Okay, I'll give you that point." So then they went to go talk to Braun, and I was like, "Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute." Heather, you tried to call her out for talking about Whitney. So now she's just calling you out. Turnabout is fair play. Pot, meat, kettle. So then you guys, Jared shows up to the party. I was like, I know you lying to me. Why is Jared here? And then Brittany's crying. I was like, oh my God, Brittany, girl, please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Hey, Bill, how you doing? Once I get off here, I gotta go check out your video. But I was sitting here, I was like, oh my God, I know you playing with me. When Brittany literally started crying over Jared, I was like, girl, ain't you here with another man? And aren't you and Jared, I'm using air quotes, broken up? So then Lisa took Brittany to talk to Jared. I was like, for what? This is not a real relationship. This is infatuation. Now, Mary saw Jared and she's like, I get it. I was like, what do you get, Mary? Because I don't get it. I don't get the reason to look stupid. Because that's really what Brittany looks like. She looks stupid. Exactly. Stand up, Brittany. Stand up. Like, stand up, girl. I just really want her to grow a backbone. Then this fool went outside with Jared. I was like, girl, you just left your date to go outside to talk to Jared? Why? Inquiring minds wants to know why you walked out there to go talk to Jared, who is playing you like a fiddle. Girl, if you don't stick with this man that you came with, at least he is I mean, if you paid him, if he's a fake man, whatever, he ain't treating you like Jared. Like, it can only be Jared. It can be anyone else but Jared. Y'all like how I did that right there? It can only be Jared. Corny, I know. But yeah, Brittany girl, you look stupid. You look stupid. So then we get to the end of the episode and we get to Whitney and Lisa. Y'all know that Lisa Barlow again is not my favorite person, right? And I can't even defend Lisa. And y'all know Whitney is not my favorite person. I'm gonna say I'm on Whitney's side. Here's why. So Whitney asked Lisa about the moon ring or whatever kind of ring it was she left, right? Lisa says she forgot it, right? Now I did think it was odd in the last episode when the guy called Whitney telling her that it was left in the trash. I was like, I don't know too many. I don't know any hotel that would call you and say someone left something in the trash. But okay, we're gonna play it. We're gonna play with it, right? We're gonna play with it. Um, hey, Bernie Raves. He says, "Oh, am I late? Hey, y'all. Kinda, just a little bit. I'm almost finished with the review, but definitely go back and watch the playback. But yeah, but no, you're not late, but I'm almost finished with the review. But you're as Riley Bird say, you know, what did she say? Whatever her little song was. Bell says maybe he thought it was worth something. Maybe, maybe. Bell, you're getting some love in the live, but maybe he thought it was worth something. I don't know. That's what it is. Better late than never. I couldn't think of it. Better late than never is what they say. But so Whitney and her and Lisa, right? They're going back and forth, and honestly, I believe Whitney because the way that Lisa got so defensive, Lisa got hella defensive. Oh my God, Lisa. I mean, oh my God, Whitney. Who said this to you, Whitney? Tell me who said this because I'm going to sue them. Oh my God. This is my character, Whitney. Oh my God. Then she called somebody. Then she calls him, oh my God, I need you to get LAPD involved and I need you to get Salt Lake PD involved as well because this is my character. I'm going to send you a bill, Whitney, for all this stuff and you're going to owe me a big apology, Whitney. Justin, your wife's a liar. She's a liar. She's a liar, Justin. I'm like, um, ma'am, you're doing all this behind a social media post. Oh my God. And it pains me to actually have to believe Whitney. But I believe Whitney because Lisa was way too loud. I was like, ma'am, if if you didn't do it, all you gotta say is, yo, I didn't do like yo, Whitney, you're coming at me over something that I didn't do, and I don't appreciate that. But you threatening to call the LAPD, Salt Lake City PD, and do an investigation. Girl, what? Behind a Twitter post? A Twitter post. Okay, Lisa. Bernie says she called for LAPD and Salt Lake City PD, double carrying it up. Exactly, double carrying it up. Bell says your Lisa impersonation is hilarious. That is the only thing about Lisa that I enjoy is doing her impersonation because other than that, and the funny thing with Lisa is the Salt Lake City fans want to make Lisa that girl, and I'm like, she's not that girl, but okay. Oh, something I wanted to say last week, and I said this week. LOL, exactly. Double Karen. Yes. So, have y'all noticed something with Salt Lake City? I don't know if this is what they're. I don't know if they're phasing somebody out, but in the last two episodes, we ain't really saw Meredith. We ain't really saw Meredith in the last two episodes. We see little sprinkles of Meredith, and I'm like, girl, Meredith, are they writing you out? Are they writing you out, Meredith? Calling the FBI and the CIA, like, ma'am, it ain't that deep, beloved. It is Twitter. And I was like, I actually believe Whitney. Like, I think that Adam was telling the truth. Whoever Adam talked to, I think they're telling the truth. That Lisa probably, and it does make sense, right? Because Whitney said she did that interview. Lisa was pissed off about the interview. So what better way to get back at her to say, "Hey, girl, guess what? I heard you got your stuff." I mean, what is the big problem with getting stuff from Alibaba? I mean, I don't know what the big issue is. I mean, it's not like you stealing something. It's not like you stealing. Now, is it a little odd that you buying stuff from Alibaba and all that kind of stuff and marking the price up? Yes, and saying it's yours. That's weird. Bernie says I used to go up for Meredith, but what did she give him? What has she given? Been given for 3 years? She's disengaging. That's all Meredith gives. You can leave. Oh my god, that I still think that that's funny. When she told, when she told Angela last season, you can leave. Oh, but yeah, Salt Lake City. mm, love this show. Love the girls. Love the girls. You know what? I feel like I want to go back and rewatch season three because I didn't watch season three. I came back season four. But yeah, you guys, that's all we got for Salt Lake City. Great episode. Great episode. If you guys didn't know, they released a trailer for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So Beverly Hills will be back on November 19th. So that's going to be a Tuesday night. They will premiere November 19th, 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Pacific Time. So they're going to be a lead in for the Real Housewives of New York. I see what you're doing, Bravo. Y'all see that them numbers ain't given for New York. Yeah, I said we gonna try to boost them numbers up just a little bit and let Salt Lake, they're not Salt Lake, but let Beverly Hills lead them in. Interesting season. Look like it's gonna be a good season for Beverly Hills. We see Dorit and Kyle getting into it. Dorit is starting to look like Sheena Shea from Vanderpump Rules. She's looking a little bit like Sheena Shea. Um, we see Camille is making a return back to Beverly Hills. The last time we saw Camille Meyer, the last time we saw Camille, she was leaving a reunion stage, taking her dress off. Um, Sutton is still coming at Kyle. It's getting old for me. Like, we can lay off Kyle just a little bit. But y'all know I'm not a big. Y'all know I'm not a Sutton fan. I don't see it for Sutton. I don't like Sutton. She's not my girl. And that's all I gotta say. But yeah, Beverly Hills is back November 19th, and we will be there. So if you guys didn't see, I posted in my community tab. What I'm gonna do is what I'm gonna do is what I do like with Potomac, do a recorded video and then go live the next day. Bill says I saw that and I can't wait. What, you don't like Sutton? Girl, no, I can't stand Sutton. Mm-mm. I don't like Sutton at all. Nothing in me like Sutton. Mm-mm. Not 1 ounce of my body like Sutton Strack. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That Southern Belle act from her, it rubs me the wrong way. Being from the South, most Southern Belle, and I always have to say this when I say this about Sutton. I'm not saying that Sutton is a racist, but the Southern Belles here, especially here in Texas, they racist. They give real racist. And I'm not saying that it is what it is. That's what it is with Sutton. That's just why I don't see it for Sutton. I don't like Southern Belles. That's another reason why I don't like Phaedra Parks either. I don't like that Southern Belle act from her. But yeah, but I know you love some Sutton. I know you love you some Sutton, but yeah, Sutton ain't my girl. Garcelle is, but Sutton ain't. Now, what I will say when it comes to Sutton, I do like it when she's giving it to Erica and to Kyle. I ain't gonna never take that away from her. She gives it to the girls when she needs to give it to them, right? But yeah, other than that, she ain't for me. And again, I know you love you some Sutton. But yeah, you guys, that's Salt Lake City. We'll be back tomorrow for what comes on tomorrow? OC. Well, OC comes on tonight, so we'll be back tomorrow for OC. I still have to record my review for Abbott Elementary, so that'll be up later tonight. And then that's it, you guys. Oh, and I still got to finish Grotesquerie. I didn't forget about that show. Now that Reasonable Doubt the season finale aired, I can devote a little bit more time to that. So yeah, be sure to like the video, you guys. Please subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. And until the next time, do me a solid favor, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. And if you came in late, which ain't no late over here, just go back and rewatch the replay. Bill says, okay, I need to watch Reasonable. Yes, go watch Reasonable Doubt, Bill. It was really good. And put out your review because I love what you were saying about the show. But y'all, see you guys later. Bye, y'all.